Alabama setting up for an epic weekend of recruiting. Some of the number one players in their position coming to Tuscaloosa and some huge Alabama targets. A guy to keep an eye on this weekend is Dijon Lee, Jackson, of course, Micah DeBose. We talked about him yesterday. And could Dawson Merritt be close to making a decision? We're going to get into that and more right here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Thank you for being here. And after this break, I want to introduce you to my very good friend, Mr. Big Sexy Elmo. So all that coming up. Did I say to share with your friends? I'm not begging. I'm just asking in a really nice voice. There he is, Big Sexy Elmo in the house from WJLX in the Jasper area. You can hear him all over the place. I'm Mick Gillespie, at Broadcaster Mick, talking to you again after that epic night at Rickwood here in the wonderful city of Birmingham. And we've got a lot to talk about today. You look great, Brett. I can tell you did not have a haircut, but it looks like you might have had one in the last week. All right. 4-star prospect Dawson Merritt could be close to a decision between Alabama and Nebraska. He's coming to Bama. He's coming to Bama, I'm telling you.
I think we'll have something this weekend. I really do. I think we may have something this weekend on Merritt. It's down to Bama. It's down to Bama and Nebraska, and I think this guy's coming to T-Town. We've talked a lot about Dawson Merritt on this show, and I think Mick, just hold on to your horses because it'll probably drop on Sunday. You know, they normally do that stuff to us. Yeah, we're sitting around on a Sunday and kind of having an easy day, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, we got a commitment, and then it's to the Bat Cave we go, and here we are. But, yeah, looking forward to his decision, and it could come as early as this weekend.
It's like, surprise, surprise. And then all of a sudden, there you go. What I'm really excited about is what's going on in Tuscaloosa this weekend. And you talk about some of the biggest gets that Alabama has out there. They're already picking up a lot of momentum. But right now, this recruiting class could use some more players. Obviously, I mean, they still have more spots as they try to get that number one recruiting class, and it's not out of reach. And if they get some of these guys, some of these big targets, Micah DeBose, of course, we've talked a lot about him out of the Mobile area. Was a Georgia commit. Then everybody felt like he was going to LSU. Alabama trying to add him to that offensive line mix. Dijon Lee, you know, how many times have we brought him up? Jackson, the linebacker. Justus Terry, the defensive lineman from Georgia that just decommitted from USC. And this is just a handful of what Tuscaloosa is going to have in store this weekend.
Yeah, it's another monster recruiting weekend, and I love that. I love talking about these recruiting weekends because it's almost like a who's who of national high school talent. Just look at these four guys here. If you watch this program on a daily basis, you know, we talk about these guys a lot and have. We've been following their, recruitment process, and now they're going to be on campus this weekend, and who knows what's going to happen, but I say more big things are coming our way.
Yeah, look, Justus Terry, mentioned him. 5-star out of Manchester High School in Georgia. You know, once he decommitted, the experts are saying basically he's a lock for Georgia. But if he's a lock for Georgia, why is he coming to Tuscaloosa? You know, obviously he's keeping his recruitment open enough to come to Tuscaloosa and take a look. And I think that as Alabama, that's all you can ask for, right? I mean, you want to do that. And how about 5-star cornerback Dijon Lee, right? Mission Viejo, California. Alabama has killed it in California. Their last commitment was Jackson Lloyd from Carmel, California. This is another guy that comes down to Alabama and Georgia, right? I got a feeling that Alabama's going to end up netting Dijon Lee. It's just my gut feeling. And then we talk about Jackson. You know, he's the number one linebacker in the class, right? And he's someone that Alabama would absolutely love to get. And they have been a linebacker four-star out of Seminole Ridge in Florida, Seminole Ridge High School. We've mentioned him before, but Bama with Coach DeBoer and his staff has done a great job of putting these guys on display, showing them the campus, connecting with the families, and basically proving to them that just because Alabama doesn't have Nick Saban does not mean that Alabama is done winning.
No, you're right, Mick. And also another thing that we talked about the other day, and I've been hearing more about it, is just that these guys are already bonding as a team. They're not even on campus, a lot of these commitments, and that's a huge part of anything. And even the current team this past week has been engaged a little bit in more team building exercises and stuff and activities. So it's looking good, for the Tide, and we've picked up. There's been no drop off at all, I don't think.
No, I'm with you, man. I'm with you on that, and I think that's exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what we're, what we're looking for here is can Alabama continue their dominance? And if they do, what's that going to look like with DeBoer? So we'll find out. We're going to keep an eye on this recruiting class all weekend as Alabama moves forward. There's other guys there. We just kind of highlighted these, and, it's exciting. Hey, also, guys, I want to tell you, I went by New Life Art yesterday. I saw the beautiful pictures there, and I got to keep reminding you that we have this promo code right now, 25% off when you use the promo code Bama Tailgate off the classics. So take advantage of that. I was in there, and a guy came to pick up his canvas print of 4th and 31, and I'll tell you what, man, it was a beautiful picture. So exciting times for Alabama, and this is one. Like I said, this is one of those times where you can go on there, not the new stuff, but the classics. 25% off right now with the promo code Bama Tailgate. All right, look, Brett, you're taking over the show. When we come back, it's time for our date in history. We want to do that for you guys. We want to tell everyone what's going on today around the world and everything. We do it every day here on the show. So as soon as we come back from this little quick timeout, it'll be the Brett Elmore Show.
To Pearl River Resort. They call him Big Sexy. Coming at you from the Walker County. Jasper is his hometown. He's known for giving free rundowns. Oh, Big Sexy. Throwing out those Alabama thoughts. Sneaking out your mom's window without getting caught. Nick gives you the XP, but Big Elmo is here to please. Big Sexy Elmo on the Bama Tailgate Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brett Elmore and the West Jasper 7.
Yes, give me a round of applause, everyone. Today's the 21st day of June. Yesterday, longest day of the year. Did it feel like it, Mink?
Yeah, it did. It did. It was a hot one yesterday, and it was a long one yesterday. And the crazy thing is you brought that up, and you're like, hey, you know what? Tomorrow is going to be the longest day of the year. And I was like, no, it can't be. It's the 21st always is. But you were right. Like, this is a weird year. Like, it's like a 250-year year because of that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Not a whole lot going on the 21st day of June. The 21st day of June is not very active as far as what's happening. But I will go through a few things here. Celebrity birthdays. I found this interesting. You remember the TV show Family Ties?
Yeah, I do remember that show.
Meredith Baxter, she was Elise Keaton. She's 77 today. And Michael Gross, who was also on the show, he's 77. They had the same exact birthday.
What are the chances?
Born the same day, and they're both 77. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, both on the same show. That's so crazy. I don't think I know anyone that I grew up with that had the same exact birthday as me. You know, like with your friends or something. I mean, you know, I'm trying to think. Maybe there was.
I don't. Did I tell you this story? But I had a friend who, friends and everything, and we knew we had the same birthday, and then one day I was like, yeah, I'm going to be turning, ever how old it was, and he's like, I'm turning the same age, and we were both born July 3rd, 1983, at night at the same hospital.
That's crazy.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
The guy's now the lead singer of the Wildflowers.
Oh yeah. You told me the Tom Petty guy.
Yeah, the Tom Petty tribute band. Yeah, we celebrate the same birthday. We were born like an hour apart at the same hospital. It was
that's crazy. That is crazy.
So weird. Crazy. Prince William is 42 today.
Yeah, which one is he? I get confused by all these royal guys.
He's of course, he's the son. He's the Duke of Cambridge. He's the heir to the British throne. He's the son of Prince Charles. He's 42 today.
I'm not a big royals guy.
Yeah, me either.
Just not.
This is more up our alley. Jim Brewer is 57 today.
Love Jim Brewer, man. Love Jim Brewer. Half Baked with Dave Chappelle, kind of a breakout for him. He was so good on SNL, and they didn't appreciate him, which, it's kind of the way that show is sometimes. But, he's fantastic, man. Love that guy. I saw him on Roseanne Barr's podcast recently, and it was really interesting. Yeah, he's definitely worth a watch.
And finally, Brandon Flowers, singer of one of my all-time favorite bands, The Killers, 43 today.
Yeah, you play The Killers on your show, on your station sometimes. It's pretty good. It's a band that I really don't know a whole lot about, but I check them out on WJLX, and like some of their songs, I'm like, oh yeah, I've heard that before.
Yeah. If you're looking for something to celebrate today is National Cookie Dough Day.
My favorite thing, my grandmother used to make cookies, a chocolate chip, and I would lick the bowl, and that was better than actually eating the cookies. And she was such a great person. She would purposely not use all the cookie dough.
Yeah. She was like, little Mick wants to eat the ball.
Lick the ball, Mick. Lick it. Did everybody's grandmother do that? Did everybody's grandmother do that? I'm sure they did, right?
Grandmothers are very special people.
Gotta love them.
International Yoga Day. Something I probably won't be celebrating.
It's something I wish I got into. I would love to be one of those people that I can just put my leg up by my ear, or I can.
That's a special talent.
I can just bend down and pick stuff off the floor without bending my legs. But I'm not one of those guys. My yoga friends are though. And nothing better than the people that can do the downward dog.
Right. Today is National Peaches and Cream Day.
Great yogurt flavor.
Yeah. National Selfie Day.
That's more your speed than mine.
I don't know about that, but yeah, it probably is. Take some selfies,
Well, there's one of you there. Look, right there at the bottom of the screen. That's why
that's true.
Over here now, because it's you looking at yourself. At least that's now I'm looking at you.
Yeah, that's true. Let's take a look at what happened this day in history. 1879, F.W. Woolworth opened his first 5 and 10 cent store in Pennsylvania. That was a big thing here in Jasper. We had a Woolworths, and my dad used to talk about it, and my mom all the time, about how cool that store was. Yeah,
we had one in our town too. And
I think every town had one,
it was like Walmart, a mini version of Walmart. They had I love the pet aisle. They'd have just like enough pets, like fish tanks and stuff, not blowing you away, but enough that if you wanted some goldfish or some guppies or something like that, you could get them there, Nothing exotic, but just you could go in there and get your Star Wars action figures.
Right.
And I don't know, wrestling dolls.
Yeah.
And some of them had a soda shop in there too. You'd go in there and get back then we didn't have any money, so I mean, I didn't. It wasn't as fun as it would be now. Like actually go in and get a milkshake or a malt or something.
Yeah. My dad always talked about what a treat that was. To go in and get like, something from Woolworths, like to eat, like a milkshake or something. And I've seen pictures of the local one and heard so many stories, but yeah, apparently it was a great place. 1939, Yankees announced Lou Gehrig's retirement.
One of the saddest things that ever happened in sports, because before he fell ill, he was like baseball's best player. And at a time when, all those years it was him and Babe Ruth. And then he started to kind of become the guy, and he played every single day. They called him the Iron Horse. And it was because he was iron, and he was setting records, and he was having an amazing career, still was a Hall of Famer. And then all of a sudden he just lost all of his power and his ability to do anything really. And then they found out that's what he had. And it was sad that he left. And then what's even worse was when he gave that speech where he's like, hey, I'm retiring from baseball. I'm probably going to die. Basically, he was like, but I'm the luckiest man on the face of the earth because I got to do what I love. And his impact is still felt, and ALS still uses him as their spokesman. And, you can't not love Lou Gehrig. I don't know that he's on the Mount Rushmore of baseball players, but he's definitely one of the all-time greats.
Yeah, he's up there. He's up there. Sad day in civil rights history. 1964, workers Michael Schwerner, Andrew Goodman, and James Chaney disappear in Philadelphia, Mississippi during a black voter registration drive. All three were found dead that August. Just a sad day in the civil rights history. Also, 1982, a jury found John Hinckley Jr. not guilty by reason of insanity in the attempted assassination of Reagan.
Yeah, how crazy is that? I mean, they found him not guilty. I mean, but it was on video, right? And so
yeah,
like, hey, here he is.
But they said he was insane, and now it's just like, isn't he still alive? I think he is.
Yeah, right.
And we're still feeding him. And finally, 2011, one of your favorites, Maroon 5, releases "Moves Like Jagger," featuring Christina Aguilera. Man, you're talking about some big, sexy dance moves. I could move to "Moves Like Jagger."
Yeah, great song. "Moves Like Jagger." First name's Mick. It's a good song. The question I have is who's a bigger Mick? We've talked about this before, and this is a question. You want to know, would you rather get eaten by a shark or a bear? I want to know who's bigger, Mickey Mantle or Mick Jagger in the world of Micks.
Boy, that's a tough one. I'm going to have to go Jagger because it's just his worldwide. Man, that's a tough one. I'm going to have to go Jagger though, Mick Jagger.
See, I think it's Mickey Mantle because I mean, when you say the Mick, everybody thinks Mickey Mantle.
No, I think of you, Mick.
Well, thank you. But
have you talked to the Mick today?
Yeah,
and I'm like, do you know him very well enough to know him to call him the Mick?
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, it's a tough race though. Mick Jagger definitely.
Yeah, that's really a tough one. That's a good one though. I like that one.
I think Mickey Mantle is on the 4 best players list. I mean, it's like we've talked about Willie Mays and Babe Ruth. They're definitely 1 and 2 or whatever, but Mickey Mantle might be 3rd.
But you're talking about Mick Jagger, who is still relevant today and still touring. And he's been doing it since the 1960s. I mean, that's a long career, and the guy still has the moves.
Right.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah. Right.
But that's a great question. So hop in the comments section and let us know who's the bigger Mick Gillespie, Mick Jagger, or Mickey Mantle.
Look at you, man. Or Mick Dundee. How about Mick Dundee? I mean, come on, throw some other Micks in there, so at least maybe I can slide ahead of those guys. right. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us again on the show. Don't forget to check out Brett, WJLX, and Jasper, my good buddy. Always fun hanging out with him every day here. But 6 to 10 a.m., you can listen to him. And I want to remind you guys that we're brought to you by our friends at Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. Really excited about all the things they got going on right now. The Timeout Sports Lounge, which is a Vegas-style sports book right there in the casino. They've got table games and slots. They've got Dancing Rabbit Golf Course, which is the Augusta you can play. And if you put $50 down at the sports book, win or lose, you can play Dancing Rabbit for $40. So that's a really good fee. I mean, for those of you guys that golf, you know that, especially really good courses. But they got the water park over there. They've also got the spa and some great concerts coming up. Boys to Men, Big and Rich with Gretchen Wilson, Rodney Carrington, the comedian, Brian McKnight's coming up, all that celebrating 30 years over at Pearl River Resort. So for my man over here, Brett Elmore, I'm Mick Gillespie. Thanks, guys. We will talk to you tomorrow, and roll Tide.